So good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to open this session on cyber security and insurance. It's our second year. My name is Anita Leviant. I'm the president of the Israel-Britain Chamber of Commerce and also head LA Global Consulting. And we co-host this super event with Ram Levi, the head of Konfidas, who will join the floor later. And I welcome all our speakers, which you will meet very shortly. Whenever we talk about cyber security, we envisage attacks and darknet and damage, huge damage sometimes. But cyber insurance is somewhat different because it's more of a financial risk management. And this will be actually the focus of this day. The 2018 OECD report show through the figures the enhancement of the role of insurance in cybersecurity. And the numbers alone are a good motivation for every company, large or small, to take this risk very, very seriously. In 2019, it is expected that cybercrime would reach approximately $2 trillion and compared to only 500 million in 2015. So the global expenditure on tech and services for 2018 is estimated to reach $93 billion, and this is not including the expenditure on insurance. So shall we go very fast and buy insurance? In principle, yes, but not so fast because there are many questions to address. There are questions for the insurers, for the regulators, for the companies, and of course for the tech companies. And it's all about measurement, assessment, enforcement of regulations, and a lot of opportunities as well. So during this day we shall hear experts that will address updated issues regarding those topics. And we hope that after that we shall be more aware and understand the issue at hand, and will be better prepared for the uncertainty. So I want to invite my colleague Ram Levi, and I wish us all a very enjoyable day.
Thank you very much, Anita. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, speakers. Thank you so much for choosing this session. We have so many attractive other sessions, and the fact that you chose to be here shows that maybe we have something important to share with you this morning. Last year, this session took place on June 28th. It was, for most of us, it was just an ordinary morning. We woke up in the morning, had to choose whether we go to work, go to CYBERWEEK, or go to the beach. The people who decided to come to the conference made the right decision. But for some other people, this morning turned out to be one of the worst days in the history of cybersecurity. A malware called NotPetya started propagating in the speed of networks. It spread worldwide very fast, causing billions of dollars in damages across Europe, Asia, and the Americas, crippling the operations of some of the largest multinational companies in the world, including the shipping giant Maersk, including its companies Damco and APM Terminals, Mondelez, the American multinational food and beverage company, Reckitt Benckiser, the British multinational consumer goods that produce Durex and Nurofen, FedEx, WPP, DLA Piper, global law firm with offices located in 40 countries around the world. And while we were in the CYBERWEEK session, the chief commercial officers of Maersk said on CNN, we found ourselves having to move 15% of the global trade without any IT infrastructure. Now think about it for a second. having to move 15% of the world trade, 400 ships with no IT. Now I ask you, can you move 15% of the world trade without IT, without knowing where 200,000 containers are at any given moment? Well, the short answer is it's very hard. And for Maersk, the next month was one of the worst months they had in history. They had to reinstall over 4,000 servers, 45,000 PCs in 400 different locations, 2,500 applications over the course of 10 days, and they lost no less than $300 million. Now we ask ourselves, who was behind the attack? Now it wasn't until February of 2018 that the Five Eyes, or the intelligence alliance comprising of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, United Kingdom, and United States, publicly and jointly have accused Russia for starting what they call the most destructive and costly cyber attack in history. The White House went on saying in a public notice that this was also a reckless and indiscriminate cyber attack that will be met with international consequences. Then we know what some of the consequences are. Now, why did the Russians do it? Again, according to the White House, it was part of the Kremlin's ongoing effort to destabilize Ukraine, an attack that just went out of control. So what was the impact of NotPetya on the insurance industry? Well, recent reports say that the estimates, or the non-official estimates, for the insured loss currently stands around $2.7 billion. Now, to put things in perspective, the written premiums in the United States for 2017 were $2.1 billion. That's quite a lot of money. However, much of the businesses that were affected by NotPetya were not even insured. Now think of what would have happened if those businesses were insured, how much money the insurance industry would have lost because of such a reckless attack. So we ask ourselves, what is the most important lesson that we can take from NotPetya? I think that the most important lesson is that the way we manage cyber risk must change. Most of the risk methodologies that we have are old, they're slow, they're unadaptive, they're manual, and for a world characterized by interconnectivity, we need an interconnected risk management. With risk management tools that we now have in place, it's nearly impossible to model in any way that an attack using stolen weapons by the NSA, by foreign intelligence service, will be used a very small software as a backdoor in Ukraine that will propagate like a worm all over the world and will cause ports in New Jersey and Mumbai and in Rotterdam to shut down for a few days, traffic jams all over the world, the shortage of HPV and hepatitis V vaccine in the United States, and shortage of condoms in Africa. How do you model that exactly? So we need a better and much sophisticated models for analyzing risk. We need stronger computers to do that, because security is only as strong as its weakest link, and finding the weakest link is the challenge that risk management should address. And of course, it's easier said than done. Why? Because attacks are becoming more dangerous, they evolve very fast, and in order to write risk, you must understand it, and without the adversary factor, or what we call intelligence, it is nearly impossible. And according to AIG, that's exactly what led the combination of leak tools by the NSA plus the state-sponsored capabilities triggered a systemic event, which is one of the worst nightmares of insurance. So NotPetya is an excellent example of why cyber risk is a complex risk to manage, let alone insure. And as Lloyd's views it, it is one of the most complex, current, and critical risks that businesses face. Identifying the risk is the key to a good insurance cover, and that is a very difficult stuff to do. So how can we tell how much risk is insured and transferred into the insurance carrier? I strongly advise you to take very good note of what Warren Buffett said recently. I don't think we or anybody else knows what they're doing when they're writing cyber insurance. That's because we don't know how to manage the risk. So what are the roles of the cyber system, cyber insurance ecosystem, and cyber insurance carriers? Well, if you look at the numbers, then we expect to see 17.55 billion premiums insured by 2023, from 4.5 in 2018. This product is becoming more popular, especially because of very intense and aggressive regulations such as GDPR and the NIS directive in the US. And alongside with that, we see cyber attacks that are becoming more costly, and that leads decision makers to understand that one of the key elements of risk management in cyber insurance. So the increasing demand alongside with the growing maturity of the cyber insurance industry and the cybersecurity industry together, this exactly is where the opportunity lies. The insurance industry can make a difference by encouraging the market to invest in security in exchange for risk transfer, to provide pre-incident expertise and to provide actual support during a cyber crisis. But as we discussed last year, they can only do it if they will be taking further steps, such as investing in better technology to help not only them, but the companies manage the risk. This is why today we ask our honored speaker to discuss the role of government in insurance, how regulation impacts the needs for insurance, how to include cyber risk insurance in corporate risk management, what are the technological gaps in the underwriting and risk transfer process. And unlike last year, we've decided to take the advantage of the Israeli cybersecurity ecosystem and to add another very important panel where Israeli companies will showcase the technology that they have developed and how it can assist insurance, together with the insured company, better assess the risk and reduce the cyber risk over time. I'm sure it's going to be a very fascinating day for all of us. And once again, I would like to thank you all for coming here this morning. You could have gone to the beach, but you decided to come to the cyber insurance session. And so without further ado, let's start the second cyber insurance session of CYBERWEEK 2018. Now, I would like to call Ms. Dorit Salinger. She is the Director General of the Capital Market and Insurance Authority for our keynote this morning. Thank you very much.